Bitcoin, technical analysis, and macroeconomic fundamentals. By the end of this stream, you'll have everything you need to know about Bitcoin before anyone else does. Guaranteed. Bitcoin, crypto, morning tea. Hey. Good morning, everybody. My name's Matty B. That is Scaramucci's. This is your morning TA. A brief glimpse into the crypto markets, where the sun's shining, where the wind's blowing. All the humble opinion of this piano. Zamboni, bring on the data. The FOMO index has snapped back up to 72 from yesterday's 44. Bitcoin dominance 60.8%. 24-hour volumes 232 billion. The overall market cap 3.22 trillion. Give or take 100 million. Well, no one said she wouldn't be bumpy. Massive dumps followed by massive pumps, somewhat. Yesterday, after the market finished puking out its anxiety, price action found a bottom and a bounce at 91.5. Then, to the surprise of every bear everywhere, started to instant pump back up and over this channel of dissension, getting our chinny chin above all three moving averages, picking out at 102.5. Then mood swung back down to a time of production, 98.8, pushing us back underneath the 100K and underneath all three moving averages. But that's not saying much, seeing as though there's a 2% difference between the moving averages, which tells this piano that we are due for a next leg up. But first we need to see the 20 get back over the 50. Until that happens, we'll likely chop suey in the price grinder for longer than anyone can probably handle. This latest pullback has ticked all the Fibonacci, save for one, the 61.8% fib, which is still down, waiting to get asked to the prom at 97.1. Perhaps a long-haired don't care wick to check the box before we continue up. My heartbreakingly bullish outlook would be to break up and out of this channel of dissension, which is at the 38.2% fib at 99K, then break up and over the 200 moving average, which is also at the 23.6% fib. Remember, we can't bring up bulls at the dinner table if we are still under the 200. It is our bare minimum entry to ride the bull run. But ultimately, this piano will remain asleep and uninterested until we're up and over this channel of eternal monotony's resistance, which is way up at or above 103.5. Now we'll run the ding dong. You can see
which ones win. We'll get candlesticks.
Ah, yes, the angelic voices of the children's choir of enchanted wicks, letting us know that a juicy wick has been sacrificed to the gods of wickedness down at 91.5, which is also in the hood of another enchanted wick that was summoned down at 89.6 on January 13th. So there are two pesky wicks pulling the price down. Other than that, you can see that nothing really has happened or changed since basically November 18th, when we entered this channel of the eternal monotony. But if I see if we can get back up and break out of this resistance level up at 106.5. We will just continue rolling around in our padded cell with our market straitjacket, mumbling bull running. Strategic Bitcoin reserve, 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 strategic Bitcoin reserve. Would you look at that, my friends? The sun's up. It's another beautiful day here on planet Earth. A day none of us are guaranteed. We're not guaranteed these days, yet we're lucky enough to have them anyway. So get out there and knock them dead. And remember, we're playing the same game as our psychopathic elected leads. And that's right, it's the long game. So zoom out and have a fantastic day. And we'll be going live right away, so grab yourself a coffee, join me for a quick one, and by all means, sing it with me now. Or on the banks of boom to spang, Bitcoin, crypto, morning tea. Hey, whoa. Ching.
And then it just gets stuck on the screen. Like, come on. Can you not just go to the next screen? I know I go on about this every goddamn day. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Sovereign Wealth Fund. And now this every time I hear this, I end up tiptoeing back into the conspiracy theory. I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory so much as it's just a theory that good old Michael Saylor at MicroStrategy is the Bitcoin strategic reserve and always has been. I mean, here's a couple of factoids. He's worked with the deep state for years, NIA, CIA, with his you remember his old popsicle stand there, MicroStrategy, before it became, I think it's going to change to B Strategy or something like that. They're going to change the name. And he went down to Mar-a-Lago. I guess he's maybe in the hood though, right? He may just be a bicycle ride away from wherever Donald Trump is. So, and here's where they can maintain the separation, right? With the Sovereign Wealth Fund, the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, and then MicroStrategy. Well, they can just put MicroStrategy into the Sovereign Wealth Fund. Boom. They now have a Bitcoin strategic reserve in a weird way. Do you know? Can you see how that might work / play out? Sovereign Wealth Fund. Okay. We want Bitcoin in there. Do we really care how it gets there? We do, because we want buy pressure, right? So there's another question that comes to mind when I go down this alley. I'll ask in a second. Sovereign Wealth Fund, we want Bitcoin in there. You know, we hear the rhetoric, we can't buy this, we can't buy that, we can't do this. So they want exposure to Bitcoin, so they just buy MicroStrategy. Now, listen, if you got MicroStrategy, that's a good thing, I suppose. Either or, will it get the buy pressure we want or are expecting or feel we're entitled to if it gets thrown in, if MicroStrategy gets thrown into the Sovereign Wealth Fund, depending how much it is, how much, what's their exposure to MicroStrategy. But a substantial exposure to MicroStrategy, in essence, would be a de facto Sovereign Wealth Fund, because, I mean, does have 500,000 Bitcoin? Wait a second, I think I heard 500,000 Bitcoin at one point, didn't I? Didn't we hear 500,000 Bitcoin? I know I heard, was it 500,000 or 5 million? I can't remember. You know, Bobby Kennedy, did he say 1 million? I'm getting my numbers mixed up here. At the Nashville conference, did he say 1 million? And then I think I heard Loomis say 500,000, and MicroStrategy just happens to have 500,000. You know, these are all just weird data points lining up on a miscellaneous theory chart, you know, that I have in my basement that, you know, no one sees. But I feel if there was the announcement of that on a side thing, because I saw like, what was his name? Hank Lutnick or whatever his name is. You know, he had one opportunity to talk about the sovereign wealth fund, and he brings up vaccines. It's like there couldn't have been a more tone deaf response to that. I mean, unless he threw in like tampons in a male bathroom or something, that would be equally as tone deaf for his first response after the sovereign wealth fund. There's so many other things he could have put up there that would have been unbelievable to add to the sovereign wealth fund, but he didn't. That was a massive fail. Considering he has hundreds of millions of dollars in Bitcoin, maybe they got to keep separated, and they can't be too enthusiastic about where they go. 43 likes. Duke looks like he's going to keep his headphones on today and play Fortnite for the thing. It looks like that we are getting a little bit of a substantial kickback down throw from our little pump. It was a nice pump. It was a knee-jerk recovery, like overreaction from complete panicking anxiety. I'm always surprised that these bots have such a unbelievable knee-jerk anxiety-ridden life. You can see how we have ticked all the boxes on the Fibonacci retracements down to the 50%. Ting, perfectly. We still have the goldenest of golden ratios, 61.8% fib. This is where the market likes to reset shows. So we could be seeing, where are we down? 98.6. That's just a haul. Let's see how far away that is. Get this bigger for y'all here, so it's not so hard on your iPhone eyes. Where are we from 61.8% fib? We are 1.65%. It's funny to be talking about 1.6% moves in the we're in the penthouse of this bull run, so to speak, so far. I mean, we're within these all-time high ranges, and we're still mincing words over 1.6% drawdowns and peaks. Now, how far are we away from what would it be called? What was that? 108. This is there's a candle close at 108 on the 4. I didn't know that. I guess I don't really look at this noisy I don't really care about the noisy little so-and-so, but let's see how far away we are from the last candle close high. Under 10%. Yeah, under 10%. So we are, less than 10% away from the all-time high. And you can see on the daily chart that it really doesn't mean anything, because we are just in a price grinder. Sticky Pete vaporizers in good old BC, behind the maple curtain avec me, and Pablo over on the other side of Canada. And Trudeau capitulation index is at an all-time high. Yeah, he is. I saw that little he tried to make a good old tweet. Hey, I just had a great call with my good buddy Donnie Trump. Yeah, we're gonna, we've decided we're gonna do everything he said. Yeah, great call. We're gonna do. He had some good points, and we have decided together that we're going to do everything he says. it'll be good. We'll see how long that lasts. If there's one thing that Trudeau can do all the time is screw everything up, because he's a rich kid. So he has no concept of failure, because everything, he's had a safety net his whole life. So he can do his worst, absolute worst. He'll never go broke. I mean, the worst thing that's going to happen is he'll have to like move to some weird country and live out his life in kind of a social exile. But that won't even happen, because people forget. People forget about how horrible certain people are. Everyone just wants to get on with their life. That's basically what happens here. I wanted to go back to this. If we were going to, seeing as though we have nothing to really talk about on the charts, because we're in this price mincer for 3 months now. All-time highs, mind you. I mean, that's kind of exciting, isn't it? The crowd groans. No, it's not. We could make a good old bear flag or bull flag out of this if we were so bored, which we basically are. Let's go here. Oh, what's going on here? That's no dice. Get the picker. You take the pole, you slide it all to the breakout point, and then we're all back at all-time highs, 109. That would be nice to get back at all-time highs. But it still wouldn't recharge the heart of retail, I don't think. I think retail is upwards of 200K, maybe. Maybe even not. Maybe even not 200K. Maybe that isn't enough for Stupid Bitcoin. Good morning, sir. Thanks for giving music to the world. You're welcome. You're welcome. My pleasure. I've been working yesterday. I did re-recorded the We Didn't Start the Fire. I'll make it a song, right? It's right now. It's a live thing on YouTube that gets like 1/4 a view a day. So I thought I would make an actual standalone song so I can get copywritten, maybe a strike, and then extra shadow band on it. But that's what I did yesterday. 109K. That's kind of our best scenario coming back from this bull flag. But here is the headwinds. We have some headwinds up at 103.5. That is our channel of eternal monotony on the 4-hour chart. Let's see what's the channel of eternal monotony on the daily. 106.4. Yes. So like this piano will remain asleep in a snooze fest until 106.4 gets candle closed. Until then, we will be living under, what is that called? The sword of Damocles, the potential bear market sword of Damocles. That's a sword swinging right above our necks, right? So until we're above we candle close 106, that will remain on the ding dong anyway, on the daily, our all-time high candle close on the daily. So we have to get back that, but you can see this is November when we kind of had this meteoric rise into it. 85, boom, into the 90K. I remember sitting here watching it going 95. And now we've normalized 100K. Like it's no big deal. 100K. Although we don't really care when we're over it, but when we break under it, oh my God, that bear market under 100K. That's how funny the mentality of the market sentiment is. Over 100K, under 100K, oh my God, pack it up. Let's go back to Winnipeg. You can see we are really respecting this channel of ascension. However, channels of ascension, they tend to break bearish. We don't want to break up. We don't want to break bearish out of this one, because on the daily time frame, it's more like there's a lot of action to there's a lot of reaction to the daily market, the daily chart, rather than the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart is really just a gauge on your what is it called, in your car thing, whereas the daily chart is more like your visual of the road, so to speak. So if we were to have a substantial capitulation out of this channel of ascension, which does break bearish, usually, we would probably fulfill that which once wicked will get candlesticked for the first, second, third, fourth time. XRPA 11 Mikey, you think you can argue that point with the YouTube copyright police? Yeah, no, you can't argue with anything with the YouTube police. They won't even get back to you, right? Like think about YouTube, how they will immediately like flag something that they don't like speech wise, but yet they will allow a sea of bots to go in there and potentially rip off people. You know, like, hey mate, I love your presentation. X117's KZ is this going to be the next moonshot. You know what I mean? Like, do they not have the technology to understand what's going on there? Maybe not. I don't know. It's not really in my pay scale anyway. But it's just like it's so it's to no end. Like the YouTube experience as a creator, like the amount of work that goes into it to just have bots come in, you know, and just like slum up the comment section. I did, you know, sometimes I would try to get rid of them, but they're like, so let's just say, for instance, it said X100XX5 is the next coin to moon, and I go in there and I put it in my don't let this word. You have a little box I can add words to. Immediately the next bot comes up with one letter change, and then they just release them again. It's like, but we're just talking about algorithms here too. Like they're their own algorithms. It's not like people sitting there on farms on iPhones. They just have what they're doing there. Moso, are we going to have 10K moves? So it seems that we do have 10K moves. Like, for instance, yesterday was a 10K move, wasn't it? Let's see. We opened here, 101, closed 91. That's 10. And then we went all the way back up to, that was a $20,000 move, really. We went down 10, came up 10. That's pretty crazy. And it was so crazy that the market went and did nothing. It's just now it's back to where we were. So there was nothing really that exciting about it for us. It kind of makes the heart go like this. That's it. You know, for retail, they don't even know. So there's like the retail doesn't know. They're lost in a sea of. I met a hardcore Trump derangement syndrome person. Strangely close to me. I'm not going to say who it is, but I was having the conversation, and I was just letting them talk, because that's the thing is about most people in politics. If they're not in Bitcoin, like part of being in Bitcoin is unfortunately understanding geopolitics and what's going on. You gotta have the finger on the pulse. Unfortunately, it's not like I ever wanted to be here when it comes to knowing about politics, but here we are, right? So the thing is, most people don't, right? So when they're talking, if you just let them talk, they will, you know, as they're talking, they're like threading a rope, and they're talking more, and they're making a knot, and they're just kind of putting it around themselves, and they give themselves enough rope to hang. But I couldn't believe some of the things they were saying about, like, you know, I always say I don't see Trump, or I don't see Trudeau supporters. Well, I saw one. I heard one yesterday. Not only were they a Trudeau supporter, but they thought that Chrystia Freeland was a brilliant woman. When I hear this, I think they're trolling me. Like, I think they're just like joking, right? Because can you imagine if, you know, let's say myself, Mosso, Kier, Breathwaite, Sneaky Pete, Wick's wife, Squeaky McGee, Shadow Chaser, Matt Grimes were at a table, and someone said, well, the good thing about Canada is that it has Chrystia Freeland, who's a brilliant woman. We would all break up into laughter. So to think that there's people that actually think that just blows my mind. If you don't know who Chrystia Freeland is, she's kind of like the vice president of sorts, if there is such a thing in Canada, to Trudeau, but she resigned. So her and the rich kid didn't really get along at the end, and now I think she might be running for prime minister. And it wouldn't surprise me in Canada anyway if people voted for her, because a lot of people think that she's a brilliant person. I don't get it. I don't get it, but I don't have to get it. My political view is stuck in Bitcoin, so I'll go where that goes. Even yeah, she's and I think her whole family was, but they're all really WEF members. I even heard Pierre Poilievre was a young WEF member too. And plus, they're just they're trying to shoehorn Mark Carney, who's just a WEF central banker, right? And so the person I was talking to also thought that Mark Carney was a brilliant economist. I'm like, oh my God. At that point, if I were to say, he's a WEF central banker, he's probably on that higher echelon of all the evils in the world. They wouldn't know what the WEF is. They don't know what a central bank is. So at that point, you just let them create their new stronger and stronger and stronger. And then I was having a conversation with someone I know even better. And to my surprise, as I was saying this, I was kind of venting. It's like, he doesn't even know what the WEF, he doesn't even know what a central bank is. The person actually said, neither do I. And then again, I thought they were joking. I'm like, what do you mean? You don't know what the World Economic Forum is? And she was like, no, I've never heard of that. I'm like, come on. And then I said, oh my God, you don't know who Klaus Schwab is? She's like, no, who's that? And from the bottom of my heart, I thought, it doesn't really matter. I guess it doesn't really matter if the majority of the people, the normies, they don't even know the WEF or Klaus Schwab or what a central bank is. I mean, God, if there was ever an indicator of how early we are, it's that. What's going on here? Symbol search. That was supposed to be my great escape out of here. It was supposed to be so flawless that you wouldn't even know.
I see a cup and handle pattern. I see your head and shoulders in the sky. I'm looking at the moving average, convergence, divergence, the MACD. Whatever that means, let's do some doodles, aka astrology for men. Let's do some doodles, aka astrology for men. I'm looking at a triple top. Looks like the RSI is overbound. It's carving out a spinning top candle. Sometimes they call them a doji. Whatever that means, let's do some doodles, aka astrology for men. Let's do some doodles, aka astrology for men. Market sentiment and liquidity, and I go pump and dump. Should I buy? Should I sell? Am I poor or am I up there? Let's do some doodles, aka astrology for men. Let's do some doodles, aka astrology for men. All those kooky little lines, they're wasting my time, always messing with my head. Astrology for men.